ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। PDF notebook, page 52.
Can you hear me?
Hmm?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Page 52, line 5, and Gita Press, page 49. Let us read from Yadyapi Dehadi Upadhi Beda Drishtinam. Yadyapi
Yadyapi
Dehadi Upadhi Beda Drishtinam
dehadi upaadhi bheda drishtinam
Avidya Vashat
avidyavashad
Deha Bhedeshu
deha bhedeshu
sapraNa
sapraanaha
samanaH
samanaha
Sendriyaha
tendriyaha
Savishayaha iva pratyavabhasate
savishaya iva pratyavabhasate
Talamaladimat
tala maladimad
iva
iva
Akasham
akasham
Tathapitu
tathapitu
Swataha
svataha
Paramarthadrishtinam
paramartha drishtinam
apraaNa
apraaNaha
avidyamanaha
avidyamanaha
kriya shakti bhedavan
kriya shakti bhedavan
chalanatmakaha
chalanatmakaha
vayuhu
vayuhu
yasmin asau apraaNaha.
yasmin asau apraaNaha.
Yeah. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya is commenting on mantra number 212. 2. Divyah amanaaH puruShaH sabaahyaabhyantaro hyajaH apraaNa amanaaH. Having studied the first half, we are now looking at apraaNa amanaaH. Context is that in the previous mantra, Ishvara as the Srishti Karta, Sthiti Karta, Laya Karta was talked about. And now the idea of Bhagavan is stretched some more to say that even Bhagavan is Vyavaharika Satyam. There has to be a Paramarthika Satyam which cannot have any attributes. Ishvara has been given attributes, Srishtikarta we just said, and any other attributes given. Ananta Kalyana Guna Sampannaha, Vaishnavites will love to say that. And so, good, so that is called Saguna Brahman. And now, there we cannot walk away from Vedanta without talking about Nirgunam Brahman. That's the idea here in this mantra number 2. So, this divya hyamuurtaH, formless. So, like that we talked about. And apraaNa, Shankaracharya is explaining. So, yadyapi dehadi upaadhi bheda drishtinam avidyavashat deha bhedeshu sapraanaha samanaha sendriya. Deha bhedeshu. Life itself means pranaha. So many different forms of life are there. And it is all sapraanaha, samanaha, sendriya. Every organism is unique and they survive. We call it species, living species, and we categorize all of them into uh, so many flora, fauna, and whatnot. I forgot all those Greek, Latin classifications. And we used to study all that. And why this Indian is made to study Greek and Latin, I still don't understand. But we studied all that and now forgotten also. And so, all sapranaha, because it's all sapranaha only. Each organism is unique. You have go to Animal Planet, it's all unique. Every animal is bestowed with something unique. So, deha bhedeshu, that is the meaning of deha bhedeshu. Okay. And within humanity also, every body, every person is different. And so, yadyapi, even though this is how it is, still, that pranatvam is a projection on Brahma. It's not the absolute reality. Vyavaharika Satyam, everything you talked about is what we call Vyavaharika Satyam. It's a transactional reality, it's not the absolute reality. Like that, our Upanishad is compassionately telling us, just like people say, Talamaladi Mat Iva Akasham. Just like people say space is polluted, but really speaking, space cannot be polluted. Tathapi, in that manner, to swataha paramartha drishtinam apranaha. From the point of view of Brahma, the self-existing, self-effulgent Brahma, apranaha. This entity that we are talking about, puruShaH, in the middle of the first half of the previous, in this mantra, puruShaH word was mentioned. That puruShaH is apranaha. Apranaha. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling us what is prana first. Then he is going to go to apranaha. And what is pranaha? Kriya Shakti Bhedavan. Kriya Shakti Bhedavan. Chalanatmakaha Vayuhu. Okay, that is how he is defining. Pranaha is Vayu. Vayu, Panchavayavaha. All this is prana. In Tattva Bodha, we studied all that. Akashasya, or rather, etesham pancha tattvanam samashti rajashamshat. Okay, pancha pranaha sambhutaha. Like that we saw in Tattva Bodha. Means Panchabhutas are there, and from that only all these things have come. And Indriyani have come from the sattva aspect of each Panchabhuta, sense organs, sattva aspect. But what about the rajas aspect of the Panchabhutas? Yeah, that is what has given rise to this pranaha, which is called Vayuhu. It's also called Vayuhu. And because it is chalanatmakaha, it is of the nature of movement. Physiological system is all act, some things have to move. Blood has to move. It is not simply sitting there, meant to sit. Oxygen has to move around all over. Carbon dioxide has to move out of all the cells and come into the lungs and then come out of the body. So all this movement has to happen. Nerves also. Signals have to be passed. Otherwise, what is the use of the nervous system? Otherwise, we call numb. This part is numb, that part is numb. Numb means things are not moving. So, chalanatmakaha, of the nature of movement. Okay. And kriya shakti bhedavan. Different types. Bheda means varieties of kriya shakti manifesting in different forms. Kriya shakti bhedavan. One means one that has this kind of variety of kriya shaktis. Okay, the one means that pranaha. Any movement, any movement in the body, anything that requires, things have to happen. That's why all these electrolytes they keep checking all the time. Sodium goes down, 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 you won't know. And then afterwards, something is happening, they say. And then afterwards, that's it, no response. Gone. Just one sodium, that's it. That is enough. My God, until things stop working, then only we begin to realize all these sodium and potassium and chloride and hydrogen carbonate and all, they start measuring all these things. These days, many people know all this very well. The other day, that lady who works here, she was substituting. She looked up my father's thing and said, "Oh, this is not good, and that's low, and that's high," and all she was saying. They know all this. Lipid profile, did you check? And all she was asking. I said, I don't know. We'll have to see. So, that is called chalanatmakaha, kriya shakti bhedaha, all these things. That is called pranaha. Then what is as apranaha? Well, avidyamanaha. Where this prana is not present, avidyamana. Vidyamanaha means present, avidyamanaha absent. Not present. Asau, apranaha. Asau means that entity is called apranaha. That which does not have prana is called apranaha. Okay, does not have prana. Uh, does not have prana means immediately, yeah, dead. Dead also does not have prana. Correct. That's vyavaharika apranaha. This is paramarthika apranaha. All right. Let's read the next sentence here. Tatha. तथा
तथा
अमनाः
अमनाः
अनेकज्ञानशक्तिभेदवत्
अनेकज्ञानशक्तिभेदवत्
सङ्कल्पाद्यात्मकम्
सङ्कल्पाद्यात्मकम्
मनः अपि
मनः manaH api
avidyamanam
avidyamanam
yasmin asau
yasmin asau
ayam amanaaH.
ayam amanaaH.
Yeah. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya is saying Tatha. Likewise, we can understand amanaaH also. Let me first define what is manas. He's saying. So he's saying manaH. That word manaH is being defined. How is it being defined? Aneka jnana shakti bhedavat. Bhedavan was said. Kriya shakti bhedavan was said earlier. That is because praaNa is plural, is masculine. Therefore, Bhedavan. Here, manas is napumsakam, neuter. Therefore, Bhedavat. Okay. So, in Sanskrit, that's how it works. And then, if it was feminine, it would have been Bhedavati. So, here, napumsakam, Bhedavat, manaH. All right. Aneka jnana shakti Bhedavat. Manas means the capacity to, okay, let's do the other one. Sankalpadhyatmakam. This we know. manaH. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaH. Like that we saw in Tattva Bodha. The faculty which enables me, which offers me pros and cons. Sankalpa vikalpa. Should I do it? Yeah, today would be a good day. Wait a minute, it's very foggy and very dull outside. It might rain. No, let's not do it today. We can postpone it by a couple of days. Okay. Sakalpa Vikalpa. That is what we saw. manaH. All these pros and cons, all optionalities. It throws optionality. And that is called Sankalpadi Atmakam. Adi. Adi means anything else you can bring in. All these various thought patterns, thought variations, deliberations, doubts, and optionality. All that is of the nature of. Atmakam means what? Of the nature of. Characterized by. Okay. Manas is that which is characterized by these things. And also it is what? Aneka jnana shakti bheda vat. Vat means possessing, that which possesses. That is how vat must be understood. Like Bhagavan. The one who possesses Bhaga is called Bhagavan, like that. So, Bheda Vat. Okay, what does this manas possess? Aneka Jnana Shakti Bheda. Again, varieties, Bheda. Varieties of many forms of Jnana Shakti. Jnana Shakti. That is the beauty of the mind. That is the beauty of the mind. Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maithunancha Samanyam Etat Pashubir Naranam. Animals and humans have everything, all these are common. This entire life, all day that we spend, it's all common, except one thing. And that one thing is what? Buddhirhi tesham adhiko visheshaha. Buddhi, the combined thinking faculty. That is what is unique for human beings. Like that shloka talks about. So why? Because aneka jnana shakti, that capacity to just think anything outside the box, anything, imagine also. Animals can't even imagine. At least imagination, at least some should be given. No, imagination is not an ordinary shakti. It is just pure jnana shakti. Devi's shakti, three forms of shakti: ichha shakti, kriya shakti, jnana shakti. Just manifesting. Kriya shakti already talked about. Ichha shakti, look at this. But here also kriya shakti you must bring, because the decision to do comes from the buddhi only. Doesn't come from vayu, it comes from buddhi. So that kriya shakti has to be brought here also. Jnana shakti includes ichha shakti, the ability to desire. Desire. No animal can desire something, get up in the morning and desire for something new. Not possible. Not possible at all. Even the dog, your pet dog, which you've been feeding all these chow chows and on this and that, even that dog cannot say, for a change, give me something different. Not possible. Why? Little bit desire. No, not there at all. Ichha Shakti is not there. Very, very bounded. Very bounded Icha Shakti. Maximum it wants you to lick you and then wag your tail. That's all it will do. All right. So Aneka Jnana Shakti Bhedavat. That is what is manaha. Manaha. Api avidyamanam. Yasmin asau. That also is avidyamanam absent. This kind of manas that has been described also is absent. Yasmin, that in which this kind of a mind is absent. That saha ayam. Ayam means this. Saha means that. That manaha is that manaha which is absent in that. I don't know how to translate all this. That in which every word and all, if we start translating, we'll get confused. So we have to be careful. Without getting confused, you have to translate. That in which this type of mind is absent is called amanaaH. AmanaaH. And amanaaH is, it appears like plural, but it is singular. We saw that last time. That is because it is sakaranta pullingam, like Nachiketas. Singular of Nachiketas is Nachiketaha. That is why here it says amanaaH. Good. So Vidyamanam and all. Vidyamanam. That word Vidyamanam, very unique in Sanskrit. There are this Vidyate, Vidyamanam. With these words we use to express presence, existence. Vid dhatu. Okay, with sattayam. There are four types of vid dhatus in Sanskrit. One of them is sattayam. Sattayam means in the, if you want to express existence, presence, then you should use the vid dhatu. Vid. Vidyate. You must have heard the word vidyate. Okay. So, neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya karmasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Vidyate. Neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayaha na vidyate. So, like that, Krishna was telling, hey, even little bit of karma yoga is enough, and it'll free you from great fear, and there is no pratyavaya dosha. There are no repercussions, there are no side effects, undesirable side effects will not be there. Like that he was talking about. So vidyate, same thing. Nasato vidyate bhavaha. Na bhavo vidyate sataha. So vidyate. Asataha bhavaha na vidyate. For a non-existing thing, asataha, existence cannot be there. Like that Krishna was talking about. And for an existing thing, non-existence cannot be there. Very bold statement there. That we understood during that study. So that is that vid dhatu. So vidyamanaha. So let's read the next one. apraaNa.
apraaNa.
Hi amanaaH cha iti.
Hi amanaaH cha iti.
Yeah, prāṇādi.
prāṇādi.
Vāyubhedaha.
Vāyubhedaha.
Karmendriyāni.
Karmendriyāni.
Tad vishayaha cha.
Tad vishayaha cha.
Tatha cha.
Tada cha.
Buddhi manasi.
Buddhi manasi.
Buddhindriyāni.
Buddhindriyāni.
Tad vishayaha cha.
Tad vishayaha cha.
Pratishidhaha.
Pratishiddaha.
Veditavyaha.
Veditavyaha.
Yeah. So he's now saying this apraaNa amanaaH is said. Once the apraaNa and amanaaH is said, it also should mean many other things. It implies many other things. That is what he's saying. That's what he's saying here. Pratishiddhaha veditavyaha. Those are the two words you want to underline. Veditavyaha must be understood. The last word, veditavyaha, must be understood. What must be understood? Pratishiddhaha. Just like prana is negated, pratishiddhaha means negated. Negated. When you talk about Brahma, many other things are to be negated. It must be understood that many other things are also negated along with prana and manaH. Okay, that is the main sentence. That is what he's going to say. What are those things that must be negated is a big list here. Okay. So apraaNa hi amanaaScha iti. Iti means therefore, hetoho. So because the word apraaNa came and amanaaH came, and we don't see any other related words in this mantra, then we have to make the following conclusion. Pranadi vayu bhedaha. Pranadi vayu bhedaha. All types of pranas, anything not included in the apraaNa. Okay, so that you have to go back to that uh, Tattvabodha. So all pranas discussed in the human body are to be included. That we talked about last time. And then karmendriyani. For this again we have to go back to Tattvabodha because karmendriyani kani, like that student asked the question, teacher said vak pani pada payupasthani iti karmendriyani. So organ of speech, hands, legs, like that big list was given. Then we saw how did this vak come about? A vak came about akashasya rajasamshat vagindriyam sambhutam. Like that we saw. So from the rajas aspect of akasha, this vagindriyam, this organ of speech has come about. Then next one. So vayoho rajashamshat. From the rajas aspect of the one of the panchabhutas called vayu, what has come about? Panindriyam sambhutam, this organ of action, that subtle organ of action, not the gross hand, the subtle, that which that sense which makes me grasp, which tells the hand, come on, keep moving, and thereby be able to grasp. That organ came about. Like that big list was given. They're all what? They're all Rajasamsha. Kriya Shakti, Rajas. That is why he's saying. Prana is mentioned means you have to bring Karmendriyani. Vakpani, then Pada. Pada is what? So, Jalasya Rajasamshat Padendriyam Sambhutam. Not jalasya, agnehe, sorry. Agnehe rajasamshat padendriyam sambhutam. Like that, all the five karmendriyas have come from this rajas aspect of the panchabhutas. Therefore, he has listed karmendriyani because it's all related to kriya shakti there. Then he quietly adds tad vishayaha cha. Tad vishayaha. Tad vishayaha means karmendriya vishayaha. Prana vishayaha means the objects of these sense organs also. The grasping ability is also is part of the prana shakti, but now you should bring all the objects of these things. What I am going to grasp also you bring here, because there is a connection. Without the connection this is not possible. And so tad vishayaha cha. all the things that, so objects of holding, words, objects, they're all objects of the Vak Shakti. And so all that tad vishayaha cha, tad vishaya means tesham vishayaha, their objects, they're all the things mentioned before, karmendriya, karmendriyanam vishayani cha tatha. So navak pani padau, nirvana shatkam, navak pani padau, nachopastha payu, all that is there in nirvana shatkam, correct? So same connection, we can connect like that. For karmendriyani we can connect. Then tata buddhi manasi. Buddhi manasi is dual gender in Sanskrit. Mm, manaha manasi manamsi. So that dual is there. Buddhi and manas. Buddhischa manascha buddhi manasi. All right. So buddhi and mind also you include. Yeah, I thought you just told me amanaaH, mind is included. But he's saying buddhi also include. Buddhi, manas, ahankara, chittam, which are all products of that same sattva amsha of the panchabhutas. So initially each, this one, vyashti, what was the thing? Akashasya satvikamshat shrotrendriyam sambhutam, correct? This shrotrendriyam came from the sattva aspect of akasha panchabhuta. So like that, five sense organs came from five panchabhutas, the sattva aspect of each of the panchabhutas. Then he said, what did we say? एतेषां पंचभूतानां समष्टि सात्विकांशात् मनो बुद्धि अहंकार चित्तानि संभूतानि. Refer, go back to Tattvabodha. The samashti, the combined sattva amsha of all these five panchabhutas have given rise to this manas, buddhi, ahankara and memory, chittam. Like that we saw. Therefore, he's saying all that here. Buddhi manasi, by saying buddhi manasi, is saying all that. And buddhindriyani. Buddhindriyani means jnanendriyani. It's another way of saying jnanendriyam, which means sense organs. Pancha jnanendriyani. Pancha buddhindriyani. न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे. Nirvana Shatkam. So that is what buddhindriyani. Buddhi manasi, you can say mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. Correct? So, tad vishayaha cha, tad vishayaha. The things, the objects of the mind. Everything is an object of the mind. Every thought. Commonly, you can say raga dveshas. Our entire life is a story of expression of raga dvesha. Constantly expressing itself. I do what I like. I avoid what I don't like. Or I get rid of what I don't like. And I want to acquire what I like. That's what it is. That's what it is. Name raga dveshau, name lobha moho, mado me naiva, mado naiva me naiva, matsarya bhavaha. All that is vishayaha, tad vishayaha. Sankalpa, vikalpa, all vishayaha. Ambition, frustration, disappointment, all the emotions of the mind. Tad vishayaha cha, he's saying include all of that. When you say amanaaH, you have to bring in everything. All the all the all the thought processes have to be brought in. Pratishiddhaha veditavyaha. Brahman is bereft of all these things. ApraaNa, amanaaH means you have to bring all these things. Like that, Shankaracharya is saying. Okay, next. तथा
तथा
श्रुत्यन्तरे
श्रुत्यन्तरे
ध्यायति इव
ध्यायति इव
लेलायति इव
लेलायति इव
इति.
इति.
Yeah. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya is saying, let me give you another pramana. Shrutyantare. Shrutyantare means in another Shruti. Same thing is being said in other Shrutis also. And I'm going to quote to you Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Like that he's saying. Dhyayati iva lelayati iva. Dhyayati. Dhyayati you can understand. Dhyayati means thinks, meditates, okay, contemplates. That is called dhyayati. You can use it in any of the contexts, any of the activity of the mind. Dhyayati, deliberates, decides, everything can be there. So, but if you simply want to take meditate as the meaning, okay, dhyayati, and he says, dhyayati iva, iva. Atma Brahman as though meditates. As though meditates. As though. The key word here is iva. Iva. Meditation. Atma meditation cannot be an aspect of Atma, of the self, of puruShaH. Not possible. And that's why the Upanishad has said Iva. Iva. And Shankara likes that. And that's why he's saying that one word Iva is enough to describe the entire Vedanta. To go from the Vyavaharikam to Paramarthikam, this word Iva is critical. Critical. And so as though meditates. Okay. Who meditates is not said here. puruShaH. Swayam Jyoti Brahmana. So there that Brahman is talked about. As though meditates. And then Lelayati. Lelayati. Lela dhatu. It's not a typical dhatu. So Lela. Lelayati. So works, acts as though working. As though working. The mind is as though working. Buddhi is as though working. So as though. As though. If the word as though is removed, then you will everything is absolute. Everything is absolute. And you can't go beyond the absolute anywhere. So we are stuck with Vyavaharik. And so everything has to be real. Within this so-called real world, I have to figure out what is what. And so you can figure out a little bit. But then the Paramarthika will be missed out. And so, as though working, as though acting, okay. And why he's talking about as though working? He's bringing it because connecting with prana. Prana. So this lelayati should connect with apraaNa. Lelayati iva goes with apraaNa. Dhyayati iva goes with amanaaH. So he's directly giving those two words. That's how Shankara sees the connection. Look at that. And so that means the Upanishad will stretch. The mind is as though existent. As though existent. The body is as though existent. The sense organs are as though existent. As though. Because fundamentally not existent. Means if it doesn't exist independently, then it is what? Dependently existent. It is mithya. Mithya. Mithya means as though existent. Pot is mithya. What is mithya means? Pot is as though existing as an independent entity. As though. Really, it's not an independent entity. That's why as though. As though. Somebody will say, suppose you tell somebody, you are as though intelligent. Don't say it. I'm just giving an example, okay? If you say this statement, then people will get upset with you. You are as though intelligent means you're not intelligent. That's the meaning. And so don't say that. It's just an example. So as though intelligent means really there is no intelligence. And so as though such an important thing, Shankaracharya is bringing it here. And this Swamiji's example comes to my mind. One of his students told him, Swamiji, I run a jewelry store. So please come, I want to show it to you. And then showed all these things, different things and all that were there. And we make this, we get gold from here, we do this, we process it here, we do, everything was said. Then I see he revealed the secrets of his success to Swamiji. And then finally he said, Swamiji, please take one thing. Please take one thing. And so we have to be careful when we make offers to Swamijis and all. We have to be very, very careful. This fellow said, please take one thing. Swamiji said, give me gold. Give me gold. So he said, don't ask like that. Give me gold means where will he go? It is like this Vamana Avatara. Vamana Avatara. Avatara came and Mahabali said, you take whatever, ask whatever you want. He said, give me 3 steps. 3 steps. And Shukracharya cautioned this guy, this Mahabali, that be careful. Who has come in front of you is not an ordinary guy. And he said, no, I can't refuse. And so 3 steps. And you know the story of Vamana Avatara. Bhumi is gone, all lokas are gone. Now he is asking, what next? Where will I put the 3rd step? Kahan rakhu? And Mahabali understood the problem and then bowed his head. And so, like that, we have to be careful what we say, where. And so here, Lelayati iva. And by the way, we have seen the word Lelayati before in this Mundaka itself. Mantra number?
Agnihotri, that Agnihotram.
Agni, yeah, when we talked about all this, Yada Lelayate Hyarchihi, like that we saw in 1.2.2. If you want to go back. So, Yada Lelayate Hyarchihi Samidde Havyavahane. When the flames are shooting up and well kindled and shooting up. There the Lelayate is shooting up and blazing. That was the meaning there, Lelayate. So next.
Guru, just a minute. This there is a bird, no, like it's in the lake, which they call it bug or something, which is keeping its beak in the water and waiting for the fish. So Lelayati is referred somewhere there. I'll get the context actually.
Yeah. Some crane and all that, maybe. Yeah. Dhyayati iva. That bird is so patient, it seems. Patiently sitting. He's not sitting, standing. At least sitting itself, okay. Standing. Patiently. Pa. Dhyayati iva. Don't think the bird is meditating.
It is said in Tamil,
ஓடுமீன் ஓட
உருமீன் வருவலும்
உருமீன்
வாடி
வருமளவும்
இருக்குமாம் கொக்கு.
வாடி இருக்குமாம் கொக்கு.
வாடி இருக்குமாம் கொக்கு.
Body.
வாடி வாடி
Body.
வாடி
Tiredness.
Oh.
ஓடுமீன் ஓட உருமீன் வருவலும். The right one to come. வாடி இருக்குமாம் கொக்கு.
Body இருக்குமாம்
Waiting
கொக்கு.
for the big fish.
Yeah, waiting for the big
Kokku. It's called kokku. That
Kokku.
crane.
Ah.
Good. Dhyayati iva. Crane dhyayati iva.
Tamil also that Uru refers to big, Guruji. Uru Shakti, here also it refers to big. The
Uru Shakti
Uru.
refers to big. Guruva, Uruva.
Uru. You are you. Uru.
You are. Uru.
Uru Shakti.
Very good. Yasmacha evam.
Premaji, you can unmute.
Yasmacha evam.
यस्माच्च एवं
Pratishiddha upadhidvayah.
प्रतिषिद्ध उपाधिद्वयः
Tasmat
तस्मात्
shubhraha shuddhaha.
शुभ्रः शुद्धः
Ataha
अतः
aksharaat
अक्षरात्
nama rupa bija
नामरूपबीज
upadhi lakshita swarupat
उपाधिलक्षितस्वरूपात्
sarva karana bijatvena
सर्वकार्यकरणबीजत्वेन
upalakshyamaanatvat
उपलक्ष्यमाणत्वात्
param
परं
tadupadhi lakshanam
तदुपाधिलक्षणम्
avyakritakhyam
अव्याकृताख्यम्
aksharam
अक्षरम्
sarva vikarebhyah.
सर्वविकारेभ्यः.
Yeah, we'll put a full stop there. So now Bhagavan Shankaracharya is going on to explain shubhra. Shubhra. Yasmat cha evam. Evam. Because this is so. And because this is so, yasmat cha evam. Because of this reason. What reason? Pratishiddha upadhi dvayaha. Two kinds of upadhis are there. praaNa is an upadhi. manaH is an upadhi. Upadhi. It's a form. It's a form that to which we associate a function. We associate a function to mind, and so that's a form. That's a particular rupa. And so this upadhi dvayaha pratishiddha have been negated. Just like in Brahman, forms are negated. Just like in Brahman, these two forms are negated. Namely, manas and praaNa and all the other implied things we talked about, all the jnanendriyani, karmendriyani, everything, all coming under the category of those two words, praaNa and manaH. Therefore, pratishiddha upadhi dvayaha, two upadhis are negated. Because of that, tasmat, therefore, we can make the conclusion that Brahman, puruShaH is shubhra, is equal to shuddha. Shuddha is pure. Pure means literally it has nothing. Nothing that you can even begin to talk about. Therefore, it has to be shubhra. It is pure consciousness, pure existence. When we say pure existence, we are trying to say, hey, what is there some existence called impure existence and pure existence? If you say, really speaking, there is no such thing. There is only existence. But because our idea of existence itself is conditioned by saying what exists, unless I say what exists, the existence can't be understood. And so now I am trying to decondition my understanding by saying, hey, existence can be there without pot being existent, and just pure existence, that existence which is me, I exist without any reason. I exist Without any attribute, I exist. Without any ado, I can exist. With a lot of ado also, I can exist. Okay. With a family, I can exist. Without a family also, I exist. I have no choice but to exist, in fact. And so that existence is pure existence. Okay. And so that is what is called here shubhra. It is free of punya, papa, etc. We can bring all that. So entire nirvana shatkam can be brought. Therefore, shubhra is equal to shuddha. Ataha. Ataha. So therefore, ataha means therefore, continuing. And there is a long footnote in your notebook. And that is basically an anvaya, a recast of what we are going to see, the Bhaashyam, Shankara Bhaashyam. And so we would have studied that as we study this now. So ataha, therefore, Shankaracharya is saying, aksharat, the moolam has he aksharat parataha paraha. Watch the moolam. Last few words are there. Aksharat parataha paraha. That is what Shankara is going to explain. Therefore, paraha. Paraha. Paraha means what? Very difficult to translate. Paraha. Paraha means paraha. We'll just leave it like that. Paraha means three things. You always remember three things. Paraha means subtler, number one. Number two, more pervasive, mahantam, mahan. And number three, pratyagatma bhutam. More of the nature of Atma, closer to the nature of Atma. Just like in yesterday's this one, Viveka Chudamani, that Panchakosha Viveka. So from gross all the way to subtle. So that's that process. Each is paraha to the other. Okay, this is how paraha is to be understood. So param. So for lack of a better translation, we can say quote unquote superior, we can say quote unquote superior.
Guruji, could you
All
repeat
right.
the three aspects again?
Yeah, paraha means Shankara had explained to us in Kathopanishad when we were studying. Indriyebhyah parahyarta arthebhyascha param manaha manasastu para buddhihi yo buddhev mahan paraha. So even in Bhagavad Gita, in the last one of the chapters, it comes. Seventh, I think, last chapter, last shloka it comes. So
Third chapter.
that
Third chapter, actually.
third chapter.
Yeah, last one. Yeah.
Oh, third
Indriyani
chapter.
paranyahuhu indriyabhyah param manaha manasastu para
Correct.
buddhi yo buddhe
Correct.
paratastu. Yeah.
Paratastu saha. Same thing. That paraha is same paraha here also in this mantra. Three things. What are the three things? More subtle. Paraha means what? Subtler, more pervasive, and more like Atma. Once again, subtler. Subtler means what? Less gross. Okay? Less gross. That's what is subtler, right? Subtler, more pervasive. Means what? Localized versus becoming more and more pervading. So more pervading, more pervasive, and third one is more like Atma. These are the three things. Sanskrit words are what? Sukshmataram, Mahantam, or Mahan. Mahan means more pervasive. Shankaracharya's words. And then Pratyagatma Bhutam. Bhutam means of the nature of. Pratyagatma means innermost Atma. That is how this para has to be understood. I'm using word superior and all that. In English, you can just put the superior in quotes, but you have to understand within brackets these three things. So he's going to say aksharat parataha paraha. This puruShaH is paraha. Is the ultimate, is the most superior. Okay, paraH. Compared to what? That is the question. Compared to what? So, some mischief. Mantra is playing some mischief here. Aksharat paraH. It is superior to Akshara. Hey, my God, I thought you already told Akshara means puruShaH. puruShaH means Nirgunam Brahman. Already we talked about last mantra. And now suddenly he's just turning the tables a little bit and redefining Akshara as not that Akshara. There is another Akshara before that Akshara, it seems. And so that Akshara is being talked about here. The word Akshara here, Shankaracharya is explaining. Don't get confused with the previous Akshara. Here, this Akshara is Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshita Swarupat. Okay. And Sarva Karya Karana Bijatvena Upalakshya Manatvat. Tad Upadhi Lakshanam Avyakritakhyam Aksharam. Okay, so Aksharam is what? Avyakritakhyam. Okay, underline those words, Aksharam and Avyakritakhyam. So Aksharam, which is Avyakritam. Which is Avyakritam. Avyakritam means Maya. Maya. And Tad Upadhi Lakshanam. Tad Upadhi Lakshanam. So Maya, when you say, hey, Upadhi, Maya Upadhi has come. Maya is the Upadhi for Ishvara. So Ishvaraha. Ishvaraha. So this Aksharam means Ishvaraha. This Aksharam means Maya. All that in same category now. Maya and Ishvara in the same category. Okay. And same category which is inferior to something I am going to talk about, which is inferior to puruShaH. That is the subject of this sentence. Aksharaat paraH. Superior to Akshara. Superior to Ishvara. My God, superior to Ishvara. Superior to sagunam Brahma. This Akshara is what? Sagunam Brahma. Sopadikam Brahma. Maya Sahitam Brahma. Correct? That is this Aksharam. Shankaracharya is explaining to us. Okay, those are the meanings of these words. Avyakritakyam means called as Avyakritam, known as Avyakritam, famously known as Avyakritam. Tad upadhi lakshanam, which has an upadhi, which has an upadhi. And Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshita Swarupat. So all this At and all you remove because Aksharat is there, Swarupat is there. So we are trying to understand Akshara. So Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshita Swarupaha. That whose nature is revealed, Lakshita, revealed. Whose nature is revealed by this Upadhi. Upadhi. All Upadhis. So, as like Maya Upadhi, which is the bija, which is the seed. Maya is the seed for what? For what? All Nama Rupas. Nama Rupa Upadhi. That which is whose nature is revealed by the Maya Upadhi, which is the seed of Nama and Rupa. I'm going from back to front. Our brain, I tell you, once we study Shastram, one good thing about studying Shastram is you can't, your brain will become really, it will start working well. You'll be amazed. You'll start saying things like, Guruji, I didn't understand anything, but I'm very refreshed. So that refreshment comes from Sanskrit. No, I don't say I didn't understand anything. I understood. I'm in the process of understanding. So it keeps us on our toes, as Swamiji would say. You come to the ashram, we can keep you on our toes for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, like that. Swamiji said once, I remember. I didn't understand that statement, but now only I'm appreciating all those statements. So, that is Akshara. That is Akshara, which means again, remember Ishvaraha, Saguna Brahman, Sopadikam Brahma, Maya Sahitam Brahma, all that is going to be described by the word Akshara. Aksharaha, here, this Akshara. And Sarva Karya Karana Bijatvena Upalakshya Manatvat. Same thing here. Upalakshamanatvat, because again being revealed, being revealed as the seed of this sarva karana karya. I mean karana karana sarva karana karya. So the cause of all physical bodies and subtle bodies. Karya means physical bodies, gross bodies that are visible to us. Karana means subtle. Like Antakaranam, Indriyani, etc. Karana is subtle bodies. So it's a way of saying this entire universe of bodies, Sarva Karya Karana. Bijatvena, in the form of the bija, in the form of the seed, in the form of the cause, revealed as the cause of the entire universe. That is the meaning of this phrase. What is the meaning of the phrase? Upalakshamanatvat, being revealed as the cause of the entire universe. Who is the cause of the entire universe? Ishvara is the cause of the entire universe. That Ishvara who is endowed with this infinite Shakti, Maya, Upadhi, is the cause of the entire universe. Okay, that is the Akshara being talked about. That is the Sagunam Brahma being talked about. That is Akshara. Okay. Tad Upadhi Lakshanam, we saw that. Avyakritakyam, also called Avyakritam. Okay. And Aksharam Sarva Vikarebhyaha Param. Abba. See, this mantra, if you carefully look at the last two words, the parataha paraha. Two words are there. Param appears two times. I hope you noticed, right? Parataha paraha. Paraha is there. And then parataha also, it has in it para only. And so, parat para parameshwara. Okay. Parat para parameshwara. Pashupate, Parvat, Hara, Pashupate, Paratpara. Okay, so this Papanasam Shiva, that is where he gets all these things. This is Shastram, Paratpara. So from superior, more superior than the superior. Parat Para. Superior than superior. Okay, now two superior words are there, have to be understood. All right. Purusha is superior to Ishvara. That I think we understand. Nirgunam Brahma is superior to Sagunam Brahma. Maya Rahita Brahma is superior to Maya Sahita Brahma. This we understand. That is same thing is said here also. So paraha refers to that Nirgunam Brahma, and parataha, aksharatparataH, from aksharat, which is Ishvara, which is also para. Which is also para means what? Akshara, Ishvara also is superior. Yes, Ishvara is superior to the created product, the created world. Ishvara, who is superior to the created world, Purusha is superior to that Ishvara also. Purusha is superior to Ishvara, Ishvara is superior to Jagat. That is what is being said here. Sarva vikarebhyaha param. That aksharam itself is param. You bring that word param from before to here. Okay. That param comes from before. Look at that. Bija upaadhi karana bijatvena param. Param tad upaadhi lakshana avyakrita akshara akshara. So that sarva vikarebhyaha param, that is there in the middle of the sentence, must be brought and connected with sarva vikarebhyaha. that aksharam, which itself is superior, that which is Ishvara, which is superior to the product of Ishvara, because product is, the Karanam is always superior to the product. Do you know why Karanam is superior to product? Because Karanam is independent of product. Karanam is independent of Karyam. Clay is superior to pot. The only reason is because clay is the cause of the pot. Clay can remain without being pot, but pot cannot remain without being clay. That is why clay is superior to pot. Karanam is always superior to Karyam. Cause is always superior to effect. All right. So that's the idea here also. Sarva vikarebhyaha param. This akshara is already superior to sarva vikarebhyaha. Means sarva karyebhyaha. All forms and changes, which means jagataha. Universe. That is sarva vikara is a way of expressing jagat. So that akshara. Did we finish reading this or no? Yeah, we have to read that. Tasmat. Let's read that. Tasmat
Tasmad
paratah aksharat paraha
Parataraha Aksharat Paraha
nirupadhikaha
Nirupadikaha
puruShaH ityarthaha.
puruShaH ityartaha.
So Bhagavan Shankaracharya is completing that thought process. Paratah paraha. Aksharat paratah paraha. That's the moolam. So moolam, don't forget the moolam. Aksharat paratah paraha. That is the 3 words of the moolam. So, who is this aksharat paratah paraha? puruShaH. Nirupadikaha puruShaH. Purusha, which brooks no upaadhi. Nirupadikam Brahma. Nirgunam Brahman. Okay. That Purusha is paraha. Superior to what? Aksharat parat. Aksharat Ishwarat paraha. And Ishvara himself is paraha. Parataha. That parataha refers to the superiority of Ishvara. And superiority of Ishvara is with respect to the creation. Sarva vikarebhyaha paraha. So that Ishvara, how should I go? Let's go from Purusha. Purusha is superior to Akshara, which is Ishvara. Nirgunam Brahma is superior to Sagunam Brahma, and Sagunam Brahma, which is Ishvara, is superior to the world, the universe, the created, the product created by Ishvara. Okay? So, all these words mean that. So, that Purusha is divyaha, hyamuurtaH, puruShaH, sabaahyaabhyantaro, hyajaH, apraaNa, amanaaH, shubhra, hyakSharaatparataH, paraH. That is how we understand it. Which Purusha it is, which is already mentioned earlier. Adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushotram tadapani padam nityam vibhum susukshmam tadavyayam yadbhuta yonim paripashyanti dhiraha. Like that in a few mantras ago, we saw that same adreshyam, that which is not an object of the senses. Adreshyam, agrahyam, not an object of karmendriyani. That same aksharam there is the Purusha in this mantra. Okay, good. Let's read the next sentence here. Oh, wait a minute. It's 7:30. All right. Good. So that's the process. So now the Bhashyam is essentially completed. But Shankaracharya will now raise a question as a way of progressing to the next mantra. Okay, we'll see all that in the next class. Om आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः सज्जनाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।